Welcome, friends. Good to see all of you today. It's been a little bit, probably a good week since I've been on, but you know, life has its challenges, so we just keep going. Just wanted to talk a little bit today about being thankful. Now, we just had Thanksgiving last week. My plan was to have this before Thanksgiving, but I'm sure you all had a great time. It's a great time to reflect on things that you're thankful for. And as we go into the Christmas holiday season with all of our busyness, all of the things we get so crazy focused on during the Christmas season, it's good to stop now and be thankful and to remind yourself all the way through to be thankful. Now, our Thanksgiving was great. We didn't have all of our kids together, but we had several of them together. And one of the neatest things was that for the first time in many, many years, my dad, who I moved up here in May, was able to actually spend a Thanksgiving with family. So that was amazing. He really, really enjoyed it. It was wonderful. Thanks for those hearts. Appreciate that. If you like what we're talking about, make sure you give us some hearts. This is Gail Anderson, and this is Mentoring Moments for Moms, and I'm so glad that you joined us. Another thing that we're thankful for is we just had a new grandbaby born on Monday. We're also celebrating today the golden birthday. My third-born son was born 30 years ago today on the 30th, and he's the one that has the new son. So very exciting. But you know what? Having an attitude, thank you, Stephanie, having an attitude of gratitude is really a choice that we have. Hi, Anna. Bet you're having fun in Florida today. It's really cold here in Tulsa. We finally really got some chill. One of the things that I do to remind myself to be thankful is at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have a little reminder go off. Not an alarm, but a reminder on my iPhone that says, be thankful for my life today. Have an attitude of gratitude. Be thankful for what I have and don't complain even about the little things. It is so easy for us to get distracted about inconveniences, things that don't go our way. When our kids do something that we don't expect or that actually is a problem for us, you know, we just let it get us down, and we really need to look at all the things we really have. Not to be discouraged about what we don't have, or not to be discouraged about what our kids are not doing, but to be thankful of what we actually have. So instead of looking at your glass half empty, see your glass half full. Thank you. I'm glad it's warm today. That should put you in a good mood. We at least have sunshine here in Tulsa. Okay, so if you're looking at a glass, it's either half full or half empty. It is exactly the same glass with exactly the same liquid in it. It's just a matter of how you are seeing it. You can choose to look at things positively and be thankful for them, or you can choose to look at things negatively. And I know for moms, it is so easy to get discouraged. It is, especially when you're home by yourself, you've got the kids, you're doing all these things, and you get thrown some curveballs. So I just want to encourage you to start looking at your day and seeing it as good, seeing the good in it. It should be a routine every day. Wake up in the morning and think about, okay, what are 3 things I'm thankful for today? I may not be feeling well. Some of the kids may be sick. Things may be rough with my husband at work, but you know what? There are things that I can be thankful for. So as I get up in the morning, what are 3 things that I'm thankful for today? And that is a great attitude to have. It will help you change. You know, in all our years of pastoring, we lived way out on the farm, way out of town for a long time. I couldn't even call my husband because it was long distance. Yeah, this is a while ago. But anyway, I would be really down about something. You know, homeschooling wasn't going that well. I'd be upset about how the kids were doing. And then in the afternoon, I would get a call from someone who really had some issues, basically a counseling call. And it just helped bring me out of that woe is me, because I'm all of a sudden looking at somebody else who's in a situation that's much more grave than me, much more critical. So there's really always somebody who's in a different situation than you are, who's worse off than you are. You have your home, you have a life, your husband has a job. There are great things that we should be celebrating. So I want to mention today, hey Tamara, good to see you today. Taryn, there I go again. to teach your kids to be thankful. Now, the first thing we have to do is model this ourselves. We have to voice that thankfulness when things happen so that our kids can hear us being thankful. Also, talk to them about it. In the morning at the breakfast table or at night before bed when you're praying with them, just say, what are you thankful for today? Help your kids to think about things that they are thankful for. Teach them to be appreciative. Now, when my kids were young, especially the preschoolers, and even when I was teaching preschoolers at church, there are a couple things that I would teach the kids about why we say thank you. One is because it helps the other person feel good. 2, it makes us feel good. 3, it shows we appreciate what they did instead of just taking it for granted. And then the 4th thing, which was especially for the young ones, is it helps the other person want to do it again. So those are things that you can remind your kids of and ask them regularly. And actually, when they're little, teach them to say thank you. Obviously, my son, who has an almost 3-year-old right now, has been doing that because without prompting, when I give her something, she will say thank you. Now, it isn't all the time. It does work to have an attitude of thankfulness. It changes your life and it helps it go better. Point out times to the kids where they should be thankful, where they can express their thankfulness, where they can write a letter or tell someone thank you for something. Couple of thoughts. My 2-year boys says thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome. You need to teach them though, because it is not a natural thing to be other-centered and like that and say thank you. So a couple of thoughts. Our Pastor Witt, was talking a few months back here, and he said, what if we only had today what we were thankful for yesterday? Whoa, that is a humbling thought. Okay, I probably haven't thought about how thankful I am for the place that we live in a long time. So what if those things disappeared because I wasn't thankful for them yesterday? Very, very sobering thought to think about that. And even you can teach some of your older kids that. Another thing is that Dr. Robbie talks about when he was trying to teach his kids to be thankful, that if he would give them something or if they would get something from someone else, that they had to say thank you or they would have to give it back. So he talked about times when they would be in the car as a family, they'd be stopping for ice cream, and one of the kids would forget to say thank you, and then they would have to give their ice cream cone back. That would be rough. But you would learn that lesson just in one sitting, definitely, if you had to skip your ice cream. We like to do it as a family and just do it where one of the kids starts and says 1, 2, 3, and everybody pitches in and says, thank you, Mom and Dad, which is really a cool thing to have. So there are lots of different ways to reinforce that thankfulness in your kids and in yourself. So be creative, have fun with it, reward them for being thankful just to get it started. But until next time, I want you really to think about thankfulness. Be thankful for your kids, warts and all, as they say. Be thankful for the life that you have and the things that God has blessed you with. And just enjoy the adventure of motherhood. So I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining.